Sword Rider, Transformers reviews and toy related chat. Sword Rider, Sword Rider.
Hello everyone, it's Sword Rider here and welcome to the top 10 bots of 2018. I've been trying to work out how I was going to put this video together, whether I'd do the top 18 bots of 2018, whether I'd do top 10 action figures or memories. So I went to Twitter and the lovely people on Twitter decided that I'd stick with the top 10, so that's what I'm going to do. I might also do another video about just a review of 2018 as a whole, the toys I bought, the experiences I've had and all that kind of stuff, which will be quite cool to put together. But for now we're going to focus solely on the bots. Now before I start, let me just let you know that I've had a little bit of a cold over Christmas, so if I'm a little bit snuffly I do apologise about that. So 2 rules for this top 10. I must have bought the item in 2018. Doesn't matter if it was released in 2018 or not. And it's got to be an official Hasbro or Takara product. No third parties, no KOs, no anything like that. I'm going to go straight in with some honourable mentions. So these are the figures that almost made it into the top 10, but I wanted to give them a shout out anyway. First up is Grease Pit. I haven't had a new Micromaster figure in a long time, and my sister picked me up this for Christmas and it's really cool, so I really like that. Almost made the top 10. Power of the Prime's Beachcomber, wonderful figure, great likeness of him. Power of the Prime's leader Optimus Prime, beautiful figure, terrible truck mode, but the fact you've got Orion packs inside is a lot of fun. And even though the execution of this toy wasn't the best, you can really see what they were trying to do, and I really appreciate that. So Optimus is up there as well. And we've been really treated at the end of the year with the Siege line. There's been a lot of figures that could have made it into this top 10, and some of them might have made it into the top 10. But I wanted to shout out Little Flack here. He is beautiful. He's one of my favourites from the 6 that have been released. He's a great update to the original Micromaster, and in vehicle mode he's actually smaller, believe it or not. But I wanted to give this guy a shout out as well because he's wicked. So in 10th spot is Power of the Prime's Rodimus Prime. Now I know people hate this figure. They hate the thighs that become the shoulders. I just love Rodimus Prime, and we haven't had a mainline figure of Rodimus in his Winnebago mode since the original G1. And as I said before about Optimus, yes, this has some flaws in it, but it is a toy, and what they tried to do was really ambitious. And the fact you get a half decent Rodimus mode, you get a good deluxe hot rod figure, and a pretty awesome looking Winnebago means that it's in the top 10. Now in 9th place is another Power of the Prime's figure, and this is Battle Trap. Now Battle Trap here really surprised me because I never thought we'd get another version of him, let alone 2 robots combined into one Battle Trap. I think that the Siege Skytread, or Flywheels for those of you who are into G1, is really cool, really nice. But this was the guy that really set the ball rolling with these figures, and this is why it's in the top 10. It was unexpected. It was really well done. Its articulation is amazing, and it's a great addition to the collection. And in 8th place, it's Power of the Prime's Abominus. Now, I know people might say, well, actually, there's 5 Transformers there in this place. Oh, they're all one set. They're all one team, aren't they? It's the best-looking combiner. Has the best-looking individual bots in both modes. It is simply the best modern combiner of this scale that has been released. I think it knocks everything out of the park that was in Combiner Wars. Maybe the only one of exception for that is the Unite Warriors Computron I've got, which is really nice, but that's because it's a Takara repaint. But Abominus here is a great update to the original figure. Hunger is a great toy on its own. It's a great figure. It holds together really well. It's pretty solid. The only thing he's really missing is his gun, but I'm sure I'll be able to find a gun that'll fit him. So, in 8th place, we've got Abominus. So in 7th place, we have Generation 1 Encore Edition, Omega Supreme. Now, Omega Supreme has always been a big hole in my collection. I did have one of the grey knockoff versions with red accents when I was a kid, but he never really filled the hole. And when I found this guy in the in-demand stall at TFN, I thought, you know what, that one's mine, 100%. And I got him for a good price. and I'm so pleased to have him. He's a great toy, he's a lot of fun, all the electronics still work, Just a great, great figure. Okay, so into 6th place, another Power of the Primes figure, and it's a big guy. It's Predaking. Now, Predaking here is a really good Titan class figure. I mentioned how Abominus was one of the best combiners we've had in that scale. The reason why this beat Abominus is simply the size of him. He's a lot of fun. He looks like how Predaking should. He holds together pretty well for a guy his size. He's really nice. Really, really nice. And if you're wondering, this sword's off a knockoff Feral Rex that I bought ages ago, just because he didn't come with a sword, and I think that's all he was missing. But he's really well done. He's huge. I really like him, and you know what? The individual bots work as well, which is really nice. So number 6, Predaking. So next up on the list is Generation 1, Stepper. This is a figure I passed on at the last TFN 2017, because I bought some other bots at the time. I think I bought Silver Streak instead, and I kind of regretted it. And he was there again this year. He was missing his rocket launcher, but I wasn't too fussed about that, and I picked him up, and you know what? I absolutely love it. A weird little gimmick that it comes with Nightstick, Target Master. I think it's Nightstick anyway. If not, it's definitely the Nightstick mould. And it's a really, really cool figure. It's nice to see the Generation 1 car designs in a different deco, because you used to see Jazz and Prowl and Smokescreen in their original decos. This is, of course, a repaint of Jazz, and I really like him, and that's why he's at my number 5. So at number 4, some people might find this a little bit controversial, because many people would think it would be my number 1. As earlier this year, I said it, well, for the last 20 odd years, it's been my holy grail. It's Generation 1 Swoop. I love this thing. It is beautiful. I have enjoyed restoring it because the stickers were really bad on it. Actually, I had Decepticon stickers all over it for some reason. I picked it up for a really good price at TFN. But it's at number 4 because even though I love it, it's too fragile to play with. I've transformed it twice, I think, and each time was really scary. But if he wasn't so fragile, he wouldn't be so rare, and then he might have been my holy grail in the first place, because he might have actually been sold in the UK. So anyway, Swoop is my number 4. So in 3rd place, another Generation 1 Transformer. It's Bludgeon. Now, Bludgeon here was gifted to me by Ross and Riley at TFN. Thank you again so much for allowing him to be part of my collection. And he's a really cool pretender. I love the inner robot. He works really well as a tank. And I absolutely love the outer shell. Really, really cool. Has some great shelf presence. And he looks class next to my Octopunch. It's simple, but it's really effective. And that's why he's at my number 3. Number 2 epitomises how a bit of paint can make all the difference. And at number 2, we've got Takara Legends Cup. Me and Mr. Rudy Zazu picked up these figures at TFN, and it's a beautiful toy. I was umming and ahhing about it at the time, but I managed to pick him up in the end, and I'm so happy I did. He looks exactly how a Generation 1 Cup should look. He's got all the fun and the great transformation of the Hasbro release, but he just looks better. And I'm really, really pleased to have him in my collection, and that's why he's at number 2. So my number 1 is here because of the great articulation, the fun transformation, the great paint, the brave design, the number of accessories. I could go on and on and on. It's an amazing toy, and it's a late entry, as I only picked it up a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I only opened him on Christmas Day. It's Siege Optimus Prime. It's a beautiful figure. Probably one of the best mainline representations of this figure we have ever had. Definitely the chug scale anyway. He is utterly beautiful. So much fun. He's a joy to transform. You can flip him backwards and forwards within a minute or so. He's got so much articulation. He's absolutely amazing. And that's why he's got in at number 1 this year. So there's some really, really good bots in that list, and there's a load of great Transformers that didn't make it in there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed the content over the last 12 months. And as I say, I am going to do another video, just reflections on 2018, on all the fun stuff I did, the other toy stuff I've been doing with Figure Force, and some of the other bits and dabs I've picked up that maybe didn't make it into this video because of the criteria. For example, third parties, KOs, other action figures. But for now, have a very happy new year. I've been Zort Rider, and I'll catch you again soon.